And welcome, everybody, to this Week 9 NFL edition of the E2G Sports podcast. I'm trying to share it here on my Facebook page, which is where you can find us, Facebook, YouTube. It is November 1st, 2019, Halloween past. Happy belated Halloween, guys.
Yes.
Just thought I'd mention that. And I didn't realize, I was telling the guys, first of all, Tyler O'Neill back producing our show, Buddy Andrade, yours truly, John Ahern. I didn't realize how big of a quote-unquote holiday Halloween was until yesterday. I'm driving, and I'm in Pawtucket, the Providence Connector coming across, and it's like a Friday.
Yeah, I think yesterday was a lot of people's Fridays. There's a lot of professional days school-wise today. Everybody in my house was off except Hadley yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
And I know some places in Mass, tried to postpone it or delay it some way.
Yeah, there was different sites putting out votes, like should they bump it up to the weekend because of the wind and rain.
Right. Whatever. I heard a crazy thing about having it be the last Saturday in October, no matter what the day is from here on out. So it wouldn't be on the 31st, obviously. It'd be on the Saturday last, which is kind of stupid.
Well, it will be next year anyway. So.
Yeah, good point. Anyway, back to reality here, sports-wise. We're going to talk, obviously, the NFL slate, kind of see where we go from here in Week 9, preview some of the games, all of the games, actually, including the one here, which is a really, really good test for the Patriots on Sunday night. We'll talk a little bit about last night and the San Francisco 49ers, moving to 8-0.
Moving to 8-0, staying undefeated.
Looking really good. We'll get into that, but I do want to touch on the World Series, which just ended. Washington. First time ever, franchise history, but dating back to the Montreal days, to ever win the World Series. Every road team won in this series.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Incredible.
All 7 games. First time a team has won in any sport 4 games on the road.
Yeah, incredible.
In a series in the playoffs, which is just unheard of.
It is unheard of, and that may never happen again. It's just crazy. But it was a real good game. And Game 7 is great in any sport. I'll watch freaking badminton in Game 7. I don't care. But that was a really interesting Game 7 going into that game. I didn't think Greinke had the wherewithal to do much in a playoff format, much less a World Series. He pitched lights out.
Oh, yeah. He was unbelievable. He was just moving the ball around. He was painting corners. Just got to that point. I thought they pulled him too early.
I do too.
I thought they got too trigger happy.
I think he kind of, I'm not going to say he has 10. He looked like he started to get rattled a bit. I'm okay with A.J. Hinch pulling him. Bring in Garrett Cole.
Yeah, but mid-inning, that was their problem. They said it was, and it's like this with a lot of starters. They want to bring them into a clean inning because they're not used to coming in with, it's just a psyche thing.
I agree with you. They're creatures of habit.
You try to find a guy to get those 2/3 of an inning and then bring him in to close it out those last 3 innings where he comes out with a fresh slate and just does his thing. I can understand the thinking. I don't think he's wrong because everybody else does the same thing. It's just the results making him look wrong.
Exactly.
And that's not the case. And the other thing that makes it look bad is he never did bring in Garrett Cole.
No, not at all. And he looked a little steamed, didn't he? And we heard the post-game comments.
Oh, he had the Boris hat on right after the game. Houston stuff, I'm a free agent.
Yep.
So now that becomes the interesting story of the offseason.
No question. Because he's going to get some big money from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But even now, having said that, a Game 7 situation, all hands on deck sometimes, and I know you've dead creatures of habit and whatnot, but if you're Garrett Cole or any other player, you be prepared entering that game to go in at any time. Break the mold. Everyone's available. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you, but it's a mindset thing.
It is, no question about it, it's a mindset.
Even Craig Kimbrell, who's a closer, they hated bringing him in during innings. And he was a closer. He was a reliever.
Right.
His mindset was clean inning. It's even worse for a starter.
How many times you see a closer come in with a tie game in the 9th inning and not
give it up, or when it's not a stave situation, they bring him in for work with 4 runs, and before you know it, the tie-in runs on second with 2 outs in the 9th. It happens all the time.
They wake
it's
up.
It's a mindset thing.
They wake up with that mentality. They go to the ballpark with that mentality, and it permeates. And that's right. Like you said, that's what they do. That's their job. That's kind of how it is. But anyway, it was really good. I'm a little bit disenchanted. I love baseball. I'm kind of sad it's over, but hopefully get this winter behind us and
start afresh.
Yeah, start afresh.
What do you think of Hayden Bloom?
I think the pedigree's good from Tampa Bay. I think it's the state of the age we live in where these analytical, young, up-and-coming Ivy League, so to speak, GMs come in and kind of spin weave their way. It's obviously they didn't want Dombrowski, and they needed to do something moving forward. But I like what he's done, and you don't know. Here's my worry, buddy. He's coming from a small market to a big market. So I think if you're the Boston Brass, you don't let him go out this alone for the first couple of years. You know
they named the GM.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I mean, they have a guy who's going to be working beside him who knows.
It's a collaborative effort.
What little farm system they have. And
that's what they have to do is build a farm system. And Tampa Bay's done a pretty good job of that. And he's been there, 15 years?
Yeah.
Tampa?
Averaging 93 wins the last 2 years with $62 million payroll.
Exactly.
That's just unheard of, just in what they push out. And they make trades, and they know the right point to sell on from guys like Chris Archer and just move on and bring in new prospects and kind of do it again. And they started with this, opener thing. The Tampa Bay Rays.
The bullpen game.
Yeah, the bullpen game.
Absolutely.
Was their creation.
No question
and
about
other
it.
people have followed.
Yeah.
So now, if I'm Garrett Cole out on the free agent market, I don't worry about Garrett Cole getting paid. I worry about a guy who's a 3 or 4 starter lingering on the free agent market because a lot of teams are going to go with this. Opener. That sounds so hot.
I know. I had to.
I used to call 900 numbers, and they talked to me like that.
Really?
Hey, what are you wearing?
Yeah, we're going to a little technical stuff going on here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more of the E2G Sports podcast after this.
Party Dress Express is your one-stop shop for a dress for any occasion. Whether it's a prom, a graduation, a special night on the town. Come to spa number 5, the Face Fox.
The bus because I was messing around with the microphone before.
This guy here.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Tech Savvy.
That's all right. Tyler's going to take me back behind the woodshed and beat the you-know-what out of me after the show.
We're going to fight after this.
Yeah, okay. I deserve it. I screwed up. Hey, what can I say? Done.
He's human. It's over.
So I'm keeping my hands down here. Down here. Anyway. So we put some wraps on the baseball season, if you will. So we're going to move on to the NFL season, and we'll start with last night. San Francisco, Arizona. Pretty entertaining game.
Yeah, it was a very good game.
I like what I see from both teams. How would Emmanuel Sanders look in a Patriot uniform right now, do you think?
It looked good. Yeah, I don't have any problems with Emmanuel Sanders.
No, I like them.
This is a guy in 2013 they offered a signing RFA offer too.
Right.
And they didn't do a good enough job of putting enough money in there so Pittsburgh couldn't match it, or he would have been here for a lot of years.
Good point. And it's amazing what a change of scenery will do for a player.
Oh, yeah.
Because he looked like
Galvanized. He's undefeated.
Fits right in that offense,
And
doesn't he?
he's the voice in the room now. More than just the player, did you give up a third-round pick for the talent? You have a voice in the room now with a lot of young guys like Debo Samuel and Bourne, a lot of guys who are Hurd. These are all young kids.
He's to the offense what Richard Sherman is to the defense as far as the voice.
He's the voice in the room.
Yeah.
More so than on the field.
Right.
I think it's every bit as important, and maybe even more important, to have that guy in the room for you with championship pedigree.
No question. And a guy at Garoppolo, another weapon for Jimmy Garoppolo, 4 touchdown passes, 28 of 37. Quarterback a rating of 136.9. But this team, you could see, go really deep in the playoffs.
It's because of the front.
Yep.
It's because of the front. Any team that gets pressure with 4 and can cover with 7,
bingo.
You're automatically in an advantage.
No question about it.
No blitzing, no extra pressure, no hot reads for the quarterback. It's legit.
Yep. It's amazing, and it's a really good team, really good swagger. Jimmy's now 16-2 as a starter. That's a large enough sample size for me to say that something's going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. It was a really entertaining game. And on the flip side of that, we've talked about Arizona. That team looks better and better every week.
Yeah, they're growing. They're learning the system.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some good pieces.
And I was wrong
I
about
think they got to
Kyler
go.
Murray.
I really think next year they got to go defense heavy in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They went very heavy offense this year. Even a guy they drafted in the 4th round out of Iowa State, Hakeem Butler, who's a big receiver, big outside receiver. He was IR'd this year. You're going to be bringing him into the fold, so that's like an extra draft pick next year.
Mm-hmm.
They got to go defense heavy next year and just work with the pieces they have because they drafted 3. They got 3 viable running backs at this point in time amongst Drake Johnson and Chase Edmonds.
Right.
The receiving core is filled out. Tight ends are filled out. You got the quarterback who's the number 1 pick. It's the offensive line and the defense that they really got to work on to compete in this division. That's a tough division to compete in.
It is good. And it's a division game, so it brings out the best. You can say what you want about Thursday Night Football. It may not be the best product on the field and may bring San Francisco down a level to Arizona, so to speak, because of the lack of preparation time. But
they had a travel day mixed in there, too.
Yeah, they did.
You're always an disadvantage going on the road on Thursday night because Wednesday's your travel day while the other team's doing a walkthrough.
Right. There you go. 10 different players cut.
I had taken San Francisco last night.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't think it'd be that close, to be honest with you, but it was a really entertaining game to watch. So, I was good. And my microphone's buzzing again. Can you hear it over there?
I can hear it.
What do you want to do? Let's stay on. You want to tighten this up?
Yeah, slide it through the wires. Everybody, yeah.
Is it High Tech 101 here?
There you go. There you go.
Sweet.
Perfect.
Wow. All right.
It's awesome.
Do I get my certificate on the way out? I'm now an engineer.
I was looking for the aliens.
No, it's funny too. Buddy, you and I produce. We know all this stuff.
Yeah.
Back at the radio station, but I don't know this equipment yet. And he's a producer now. I'm just living in his world. Anyway,
Exactly.
Anyway, let's move on to the slate, shall we? Bye weeks this week: Cincinnati, thank God; Atlanta, thank God; the Rams in New Orleans. So those 4 teams will have.
I'm taking the bye over both Atlanta and Cincinnati.
Andy Dalton wants out of town.
Yeah, he tried pushing for a trade the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not. I want to see what this kid has in Cincinnati. It was a 4th round pick.
Yep. You got to start somewhere, right?
Pro system at North Carolina State. I think he's going to hit the ground running. I really do.
I think so too, and it's a great opportunity because this team is looking for someone new, a fresh face, a fresh leader, so to speak, and they need a whole new start. And this kid, if this kid performs well, something you can build on. It all starts at the quarterback position. We know that it's the day and age of the NFL we live in. Okay, another game in London this week, Sunday at 9:30 a.m. You love that, don't you?
Love it. Especially when I get to watch the Jaguars.
Bangers and mash with some Bud Light. Anyway, it's Houston, 5-3 Houston. I'm not going to say goes to Jacksonville. They are in London taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are probably the de facto home team of London. They play every year, right?
They're the Werewolves of London.
Jesus. Could you imagine? Okay, so Deshaun Watson has 1 pass TD or fewer in each of 3 career games versus the Jaguars.
That was with Jalen Ramsey there, though.
Yeah. J.J. Watt out for the year.
Torn pec. He knew right away.
He's a little injury
3
prone,
out of
isn't he?
4 years.
Yep. I mean, season-ending injuries each year. Interesting. Deshaun Watson still getting it done. Jacksonville's defense, first 5 games, they're giving up 23.6 points per game, 382 total yards per game with 2 takeaways. The last 3 games, 15 points allowed, 276.
That's surprising.
Seven takeaways.
Surprising because they got rid of maybe there was a
Addition by subtraction.
Maybe there was a headache behind the scene.
Had to be, buddy.
Booyah, you still got Booyah, who's the number 1 corner on most teams anyway.
Jalen Ramsey was not a part of this team week 2.
No.
They
and another guy who deserves a lot of praise. We hear about Nick Bosa, but I was reading stats yesterday. Josh Allen, who was the 7th overall pick, the kid out of Kentucky.
Not the quarterback.
23 tackles, bunch of sacks. His numbers are actually a little bit better than Bosa's. Just the Bosa name, he's getting a little bit more attention. But props to Tom Coughlin, grabbing a guy who slid in the draft. Because he should have been a top 5 pick.
Good point. Interesting game, too. Jacksonville at 4-4. Houston at 5-3. Boy, you know what? I have this affinity for Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I like Jacksonville.
want to see them do well.
They're a talented team, man. I mean, I think that they took obviously a step back last year. They're not as bad as the record that they had last year, but this team could make a nice little run here. I don't know their schedule offhand, but there's talent there. And Minshew's getting it done. There are pieces in place. So I like Jacksonville on the road, so to speak. You have Jacksonville as well?
I got Jacksonville as well.
By the way, you ripped last week. I don't have the total. You were 14-1 last week.
Yeah.
I was 12-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 14-1. Straight up picks, though, Michael. That's some guy back there, the peanut gallery. Anyway,
we have fans.
We do. We do have
14-1. Are you kidding me?
14-1. You went.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who did I get wrong?
I can't remember.
All right. Don't go back and look.
No,
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
I threw those notes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved
That's
on.
nice of you because I did well.
No, I threw mine away too. They're on the same page. Oh, goodness. Okay, Sunday at 1 p.m., a normal time now, which is what I like. Indianapolis at 5-2 goes to the 3-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. The only team that has all games decided by 1 possession are the Indianapolis Colts. 3 of the 3 wins the Pittsburgh Steelers have come against teams with a losing record.
Oh, yeah.
4 losses versus teams that are 500. So Indianapolis is 5-2. I think that trend's going to continue.
Jacoby Brissett, they continue that.
Yeah.
Just
Pittsburgh slim hopes, but
you're seeing the difference with Darius Leonard back too in the middle.
Yeah.
Just how he is so good. He's just such a good player.
That team is not that far away.
No, I told you that.
No.
I think they may be in the AFC Championship game this year.
They could be.
They could be.
Mm-hmm. And everyone thought the world was crumbling when
Andrew Luck retired, and unbelievable. You remember the situation? They went out, they gave Brissett $15 million a year, and people were like out of their minds.
They gave
and they gave Brian Hoyer $3 million
huge
a year.
Yeah,
and people were out of their minds about that. They're not going to be able to replace Luck.
Brissett
kind of doing a pretty good job.
And
of it.
Brissett coming into this year has shown he's capable of getting things done.
Yeah,
and
that play against Von Miller last week was unreal.
Yeah, he's good.
It wasn't even just the escape. The dime he threw to the sidelines. You know what it reminded me of? The Rodgers 3rd and 20 against Dallas in the playoffs to Jared Cook, where they lined up for the field goal and won the game. That's what it reminded me of. It was a play similar to that.
Did you? Speaking of Rodgers, that touchdown.
I didn't. But I saw the highlight. You know what? I'm lying to you. I haven't even seen the highlight.
Dude, he was on his back and he threw it. And he was fall. He can throw it the best of him off his back foot. That's what makes him so successful.
Tell
on
you the truth,
run off
I haven't
balance.
seen the play.
You got to watch it. He's rolling to the right and he's falling and the defender's all over him and he just throws a BB up there. Bang! Right, it just hit him, but hit him right in the hands.
Trick shot.
Unbelievable.
Then he gets to the NFC Championship game, and what happens?
You beat my boys on that pass.
Yep.
Anyway, I like Indianapolis to go into Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Indy's going into Pittsburgh and winning.
I agree. Anyway, let's move on. And you called it last week. Every time you want to shovel dirt on Philly, they come back and win. They did last week. Philly's at 4-4, hosting the Chicago Bears at 3-4.
Things are not good there.
Nope. Disappointing team with a lot of high expectations. A lot of people had them winning.
I had them as one of the top 3 teams in the conference.
Yeah.
These are 2 of the teams. I saw this game on the schedule, and I was like, oh, that could be, if Baltimore's not good, that's a game getting flexed.
See, Philly at 4-4 is right in the thick of it in the NFC East.
Yeah,
Nine wins going to
and they got a
today.
home game with Dallas left,
Right.
so they just got to stay within one.
Exactly.
And take care of business.
Right, and and with all the distractions that went on last week, finger pointing in the locker room,
They came out and ran the football.
that coach did a heck of a job putting all that behind him and being able to galvanize the team amidst all the distractions.
Did you see the Miles
really
Sanders run? Long run, about 60 yards, 60 plus yards.
I don't.
You know what won me over about that?
What?
The little things in football. Jordan Howard was the fullback who threw the block on that play. I love stuff like that.
Isn't it great?
Like guys who play for the team.
Sure.
Like you can't say enough about Jordan Howard, that block and springing him. That was a huge play. That just showed me a lot about how guys on that team, like I said, they're never dead,
No, they're not.
that team, and they buy in.
They do buy in. And that's a team, like you said, they may have a halfway decent game. They may play really well, but every time you try to write them off, they come back. This team gets in the playoffs, they're dangerous because then they're galvanizing again, and that's kind of where they're. I'm not going to say feel at home, but they've had success there recently. So this team wins a division or gets in the playoffs. I think a team like they may have to win the division to get there, but they can do that with 9-10 wins.
Yep.
In the NFC East, they get in, they're going to be really tough. I like Philly in this game, big.
Yeah, no, I like Philly too. I think,
Tub
like I
Bear.
said, Chicago is just in a lot of trouble right now.
Did you check with Carolyn?
No.
Okay. Because she's going to have the finals. And how about this for a barn burn? I can't wait. I don't know if I have. Do you have fantasy plays in this game?
Oh, God, is this the almighty?
The matchup of the two lowest scoring offenses. Want to hear this? Jets average 11.1 points per game. The Dolphins, 11.
You know what?
This is going to be a 40-38 shootout.
I'm telling you now, this is such a shootout.
No question.
My fantasy show yesterday, I said play everybody in this game. I just got a feeling both teams are
Yeah, they're going to
marching
air
up
it
and
out.
down the field.
They're going to air it out. They're not gonna, no defense. Bingo.
Up and down the field. This is going to be entertaining. It's hard to pick a winner in this. Is anybody really going to win, though?
And this home.
Even if you win, do you win?
Well, yeah, because it's the draft position.
Yeah. So Miami,
Sam Darnold. go
they
ahead.
do the same thing. They get ahead, and then they go over to the sideline, and Flores goes, "All right, guys, good job." No choke.
Yep, that's right. Go a little half speed, please.
Yeah.
So Sam Darnold has 8 giveaways since week 7. He had, 6 in the Patriot game alone, didn't he?
Yeah, it was
So it's a little skewed.
at least 5. Yeah. Fumble and 4 picks.
And Miami has allowed 2+ pass TDs in every game this season. They've lost 10 straight, which is tied for the longest.
You know, their
active.
last win. The miracle in Miami
Yep,
was the last win.
That's right. How about that?
That was their last one. They haven't won almost in a calendar year
That's insane.
because that was my birthday.
It was your birthday?
Yeah.
That exact
Great present. When Drake took that ball
You-
and scored, oh, what a great present.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Awesome.
Just a touch of sarcasm there with the
Yeah,
great present.
yeah.
You're gritting your teeth, great present.
Oh, great present.
Listen to this guy. Gift wrapped and everything. This is a tough game to pick.
Oh, God. How the hell did I go 14-1 last week? And then you put me on the spot with something like this. Make a pick, and I'm just going to go from there.
So, buddy,
My head hurts
buddy,
thinking about this.
just get you win 14-1. That's, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to expect you to win 14 games every week.
No, that's crazy. The look from the other room, 14-1.
But yeah, if it was against the spread, we'd be in Vegas right now, or at least down at Twin River, for goodness sake. Anyway, this is the E2G Sports Podcast. Buddy Andre, Johnny Sunchips, Tyler O'Neill getting it done here for you, and hopefully you're enjoying the product on Facebook.com and YouTube. Boy, that's a tough one. I'm just picking the better quarterback, and I'm going with Darnold. I'm taking the Jets in this one. Go ahead. I had the B next to the Jets for Buddy.
I'm gonna take Miami.
Woo! This could be the this could be the game that puts you 15-0, right?
Yeah, that could be the difference between us this week.
Yeah, difference between us.
Oh, God. What it would take to I'm a football guy. I love football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I could watch a quarter of this.
But you know what? You made a good point. On paper, you look at it in paper, and it's like a snooze fest. But if it's
It's going to be a shootout.
then it's going to be entertaining.
You're gonna tune in late just to see
Yeah,
somebody's going to have the ball with a chance to win the game
right.
with 2 minutes
You're going to
left.
see a lot of clips on the Red Zone Network from this game.
Yeah. Or we may see 4 defensive touchdowns for all we know.
Good point. A couple of 80-yard.
It could help with the
scoring
shootout
drives.
because that's one of those things that usually happens in a shootout game is defensive touchdowns.
Good point. All right, we're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we'll pick up the slate in the NFL. Talk a little more football items. Some people, some stories that are kind of permeating throughout the league. Scuttlebutt here and there. John Ahern, Buddy Andre, Tyler O'Neill. This is the E2G Sports Podcast. More after this.
Another summer has passed, and
Right.
because of how bad the field is
Then
down there.
why play there again? Seriously,
There's no reason to be down there.
No, absolutely
None.
not. You're trying to spread the product to Mexico? Who cares? And if they're not going to take care of the field and put your players with injury
Go play in Toronto.
Thank you.
Go play in Toronto. That's
Right.
another country. You know what? The field's kept.
Bingo.
And you'll sell out the stadium.
No
Go play
question.
in Toronto.
Because there's a football fan base there.
Yes.
Right. Having said that about Patrick Mahomes, you keep this guy out as long as you have to and as long as you need to because you can't jeopardize, number one, the future.
Nope.
Because you never know what can happen. This thing gets injured again. Things permeate. You get it. When you injure some part of your body, other parts try to make up for it. Other parts try to compensate for it. Therefore, you're more susceptible to injuries on those other parts trying to make up for the injury you have. So let him sit out. And if this team goes 9-7, 10-6, and he is healthy,
And you win the division, and he's healthy, and he's back 100%. You're starting off with one home playoff game.
that's a scary team.
You gotta go win 2 games on the road.
Right.
It's possible with that offense because they can score from anywhere on the field.
Exactly.
It's a matter over the next few weeks, manage it.
That's it.
This is you know what the biggest test for Kansas City is, not even just win or lose this week, is how they control that run game with Dalvin Cook. And how they defend that. This is a big thing because if this problem continues, they're going to be the 0-2 Patriots where they're giving up 150 to 200 yards
Right.
on the ground, and teams are just going to know to run at them.
That's it.
So this is big in terms not just winning the game, getting off the snide, getting a home win, but defending the run.
Yeah. They've got to, yeah.
It's got to happen.
They have to because they're porous there, really porous. You can run it well against this team. And even if Mahomes is healthy, the more teams run, the more time
Keep
he's
him off the field.
Exactly. It just doesn't bode well at all. So, I had an inkling that Minnesota, and I'm picking Kansas City in a desperate situation.
I'm going to pick Minnesota because I think they're going to run the ball.
Agreed. And see, something's got to give. Either going to run the heck out of the ball and beat them at that, or Kansas City's going to somehow stop the run, which they can do. We'll see what happens. Anyway. Let's see. The Carolina Panthers at 4-2 take on your Tennessee Titans. Right?
So sad every time I get to see Marcus Mariota on the side. You know why I like him?
Where's he going to go?
You know what I like about him? The thing I'll always like, that playoff against Kansas City on that third down run where he got in front of Derrick Henry and threw a block.
I'm going to hurl. Pardon me. I'm going to go throw up.
I understand, but how great of a play that was.
That was
I know it's
fantastic.
your team, but that play and the way the sideline reacted to that, that's what I see in Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I agree.
And him up in the box at a Nashville Predators game drinking beer out of a fish with his offensive line.
Gotta love that.
Like, that's the guy I see. I think there's something there, much more than Winston.
He will fit somewhere with another team.
Yeah, he will.
There's no question.
I think Denver'd be a nice fit for him. But Denver just cycles through quarterbacks, and it's just terrible. And when we talk about that later, they don't even have a guy on the roster who's thrown an NFL pass.
Oh,
which is
good. It's horrible, isn't it?
tank job.
Yeah. Anyway, so Tennessee has allowed 25 or fewer points in each game. Derrick Henry has 13 rush TDs since week 13 of last year, most in the NFL in that span. Christian McCaffrey, a stud, leads the NFL in scrimmage yards at 154 per game, but the defense has allowed 12 TDs via the rush this season. I'm going to go with your Tennessee Titans.
No, I'm going with Tennessee, too. Another guy who was secretly on the trade block that a lot of people didn't know, kind of banged up, was Delaney Walker.
Oh, he's a stud. I love him.
He's banged up.
I know he is. When he's healthy, he's dangerous.
Oh, yeah. No,
he really is.
Like I said, Tennessee has to muddy the middle of the fields to be well. A.J. Brown, Adam Humphries, the tight end situation, the backside of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing that the audio isn't good going out. And my wife said to say hello for using her name for the Bears.
At Carolyn anytime. The audio doesn't sound good going out?
Yeah, she's not hearing any audio, so I don't know.
Really? What was that?
I think there was a small... All right, yeah, they may be catching up because it's behind on YouTube.
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
I'm behind anyway, every day of my life. So we're on a 2-minute delay?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a delay.
Can I swear now? Like, go punt, go rip, ring, die hard, bleep, 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 bleep? Anyway. Let's see, a couple of notes here. Panthers quarterback Cam Newton meeting with a foot specialist.
Yeah, that's weird because can we IR him and just
He ain't
play the other two guys?
he-
Because I'm going to tell you now, if Allen gets hurt, you know who's going in that game?
It's not going to be Cam Newton.
It's going to be Will Greer.
Yes.
Will Greer is going in. I truly believe if Kyle Allen has another bad week, they go to Will Greer and not Cam Newton.
You know what? Newton has to be done in Carolina. It's not going to work.
No,
Why would you?
it's over.
It is over. We
It's
know
over. And it's
mentally,
fractured.
mentally and physically, it is done. It's past. That ship has sailed. You got to move on from him now. It's name only why you would put him in.
That's
it.
my bold prediction is that if they do switch quarterbacks, it's going to be Will Greer.
No question.
They want to see what they have. They drafted him 100th overall with a compensatory pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my true feeling.
I agree with you.
I think we see Will Greer if the Allen train has run itself into the ground.
Yeah. The only games that they've won in the past couple of years since they won on that, what were they, 6-2 last year? To start?
Yeah, then they went to that Thursday night in Pittsburgh, got hammered.
They won one more game the rest of the year.
And it was Allen
Kyle
who
Allen
won the game.
Right. He's won
nothing has been the same.
He's won every game since then, Kyle Allen.
Nothing has been the same since that Thursday night in Pittsburgh.
No.
Nothing has been the same
Nope.
with this franchise.
No.
Even Luke Kuechly's a step slower. Like whether guys are getting to the second level against him and blocking, but
Dude,
that's tough. He's a beast. I love watching him play football, but
it may be a little mental with him.
there's nobody in front of him. They got a bunch of pass rushers.
I agree with
they
you.
draft this kid Brian Burns who can't get on the field other than third down.
But Kuechly is a gamer, and sticks his head in there, and he's been dinged up from the neck up, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the concussion. So that could slow a guy down too. I mean, just apprehensively, not knowing, and maybe just the reactionary time a little bit.
The loss of
staggered.
Thomas Davis,
yeah,
is huge.
Agree.
Because he was a leader. He just overcame. The guy would just rehab injuries and get back on the field.
He's a
play.
tackle machine too. Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We used to be in that fantasy league on myfantasyleague.com.
Yeah.
With him, with
I
drafted
got an
defensive players.
individual defensive player league this year. I'm 6-2 right now.
Really?
I'm calling it the Sweet 16 Fund. I want to win it for Hadley's Sweet 16 birthday party.
Yeah.
So,
Not for entertainment purposes only.
nope.
No.
Just nope.
No.
We pay the DJ, we pay the hall.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, yeah, that's a great point about Newton. It's time to move on as a franchise. It's just it's run its course. It's run its course.
He's got to be somewhere else. And this foot thing is just to get him to IR.
Right. And if he's smart, accept the fate and get healthy, and maybe you'll land with another team.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to take a short break. I'm going to take a sip of my energy drink because I'm dying. Disclaimer, I probably slept 2 hours last night, so if I slur my speech, I have not had alcohol consumption yet at all, just so you know. More of the E2G Sports podcast on Facebook Live and YouTube coming up after this. Welcome back. E2G Sports podcast, breaking down the NFL Week 9. Week 9, and we're just about we're actually halfway through it. Well, halfway through the season. It's 17 weeks, but
Crazy. This is the midpoint for
it's insane.
20 teams.
Unreal. Good. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Springtime will be here soon. I keep saying to myself.
Oh, God. Stop.
Why?
Stop rushing football season. Although it's always football season.
Oh, I went 14-1. Can you stop talking about the spring?
Oh, my God. I just mentioned it because it made somebody happy.
I'm teasing
I
you.
brought joy to somebody's life. It's
I
a
am
good feeling.
I am going to bring up springtime and spring training every single week for the rest of this podcast.
That's awesome.
You're
I need to know who the catcher is in Salem. Anyway, if you can do that research for me and have
the Greenville Drive.
I need to know what his OPS is.
This week in the minor leagues.
What's his WAR? Do you know what his WAR is?
Who's his? What's his WAR?
Whoever that catcher in Salem is, you want to talk about.
I don't know yet. Would you like me to find out?
Next week.
Okay,
I expect an answer.
Right off the top.
I want the backup catcher's info, too. And I want to know where the bullpen catcher.
You want to know all the catchers?
Yeah.
Starting, backup, bullpen.
I want to know the bullpen guy, too.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I may even dig up their salaries for you. How about that?
Please do. Signing
right.
bonuses.
You got it. Let me make a note
Are
of
they
that.
Boris clients?
Bullpen catchers. And okay, we're good. Got it. Anyway, the last 1 o'clock game, we're back into the NFL, obviously. The last 1 o'clock game on Sunday has the 1-7 Washington Redskins going to the 5-2 Buffalo Bills. Washington has not scored a touchdown in the last 9 quarters.
It's overrated.
The Bills have averaged just over 19 points per game, which is the lowest of many of the 14 teams with a winning record. 5 wins have come versus teams with a combined 7-31 record. That does not take away how good their defense is. Buffalo's got a good defense.
Yeah, against the run, though. Man, we've seen some teams last 2 weeks. Mark Walton had a really good game against them.
Yep.
Breaking tackles, getting to the second level. And we saw it with Howard Sanders and Boston Scott last week, all scoring touchdowns for Philadelphia.
Philly did a nice job against them last year.
201 last I saw.
Yep.
Rushing yards.
Yeah.
I know AP has missed a couple of practices this week. Darius Geis is back. Whoever it is running the ball, Wendell Smallwood's the third guy there. Used to play in Philly. Whoever it is, you're going to see a heavy dose of them because their quarterback situation is awful, and they do not want to put Dwayne Haskins in for whatever reason.
No. And
the owner wanted the player. Nobody else did.
What does that say about the owner?
It tells you everything you need to know about Lord Farquhar.
Bingo. This is a litmus test for Buffalo.
You got to bounce back. You got to kick this team's ass.
You got to really dominate this team and dominate them defensively and maybe get your offense on track a little bit.
Yeah, this is a home game. This is where you prove your wild card.
Absolutely.
Team.
Right. You win this, you're 6-2 and you're looking good.
Yep.
It's the bottom line.
I'm taking Buffalo.
Yeah, I like Buffalo too. They've shown a little resiliency, so I expect them to come back this week. And
they're going to give up yards on the ground, though.
Yeah.
A lot over this year.
Well, if they bend and break a little bit and don't let them get into the end zone, then you can withstand that.
Washington doesn't want to get in the end zone, so it works out perfect.
Good point. Right, so they're going on 9+
They scheme
quarters.
for field goals.
Like that.
There we are. We're inside the 10. All right, let's kick.
Is there a kicker
First down, coach?
I don't have the kicker on my fantasy team. No.
Yeah, you might want to look into that.
Please do. I have Harrison Buckner, by the way. Anyway, we move to the 4 o'clock slate at 4:05 p.m. 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Tampa Bay at 2-5 takes on and goes to that 12th man in Seattle, which you were talking about just a little bit. Little what? Look at Buddy rolls his eyes. I don't buy that either. The whole 12th man thing. Oh, good. Every NFL team has their 12th man if they're home because the team's supporting them. So, Russell Wilson's career passer rating versus Tampa is 62.0. It's the lowest versus any opponent.
Really?
Yes.
That's surprising.
Interesting.
Because I can't look back over time in my mind and think of a time that they had a really good secondary that would shut down Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I don't know how many times they played him. I was out of the division, but that's an interesting little tidbit on Russell Wilson, who's having a great and a pretty darn good year. And Seattle, it's sitting at 6-2, looking really good at the moment. Tampa Bay's averaging 31.8 points per game since week 3, which is the most in the NFL. Seattle is 0-2 when allowing 30-plus points. Something's got to give here.
The 12th man. That's going to be my new galvanizing
You
thing.
are down.
Fly me to Seattle,
You
and
are
I'm just going to go out and tell
down.
them how much of
You are
frauds they
down
are.
on Seattle. But the fans, anyway. Anyway.
It's just weird. They've had 2 big home games, one against New Orleans, which they lost, And then they played Baltimore a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
12th man, lost.
Yep.
Sorry.
You can say the same
That's
about
how I feel about it.
You can say the same about that great Kansas City advantage that they have.
Yeah, but they're real. It's organic.
Right.
It's not fake. It's not a stadium built for noise.
It's in the heartland, baby.
There you go. All
I
right.
love it.
We got to bang out some games.
Yeah, we
My
do.
God.
I like Seattle.
I love chatting, though.
I do too. This has been good diatribe.
Very therapeutic.
11:38. We've got about 12 minutes in the show. So I like Seattle. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take the 12th man, just because Jameis Winston loves to hold on to the ball.
I think
and they don't have a backup. They will not put in the backup. He can do whatever he wants out there.
That 12th man go. That's a deep roster, like 60,000 people.
Oh yeah,
that's a big team, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
Ringing the bell. Yeah, it's going to be great. Can't wait.
Matt Stafford is having a good year for the Detroit Lions, who sit at 3-3-1. And they go to Oakland to take on the 3-4 Raiders. The Raiders have allowed 8 pass TDs in the last 2 games. Stafford has had a fourth quarter comeback and game-winning drive in both career games versus the Raiders.
Yeah, yes. And I'm so pathetic, I remember both of them.
That's not pathetic.
Yeah, 2011, Calvin Johnson had a great touchdown in the last 2 minutes.
You have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah.
That's good. I like Detroit on the road.
I do too. This is going to be a shootout, I have a feeling.
And Raiders lose. Okay, 4:25. Green Bay at 7-1 takes on the LA Chargers.
It's going to be a home game.
Yeah. Joey Bosa is the only player with 40-plus tackles and 7-plus sacks. They've had 7 one-possession games this season, which equals Indy. Out of the 8. Indy has all 7 of their games. Chargers 7 out of their 8 games have ended in one possession. Aaron Jones leads the league in scrimmage yards for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is a 130.5 career passer rating versus the Chargers. Wow, I think that I'm picking Green Bay in this one. It's a tough one because I think the Chargers can.
Taking Green Bay too.
Yeah,
it's going to be a home game.
There's a little dissension there with the Chargers, I think, going on.
Yeah, the new play caller this week too.
Yeah,
offensive coordinator got knocked out.
And they're just getting.
Anthony Lynn's going to run the ball a lot, though. Anthony Lynn loves to run the ball.
Yeah, and
so if you got Melvin Gordon this week or Eckler, play those guys.
Agree. And the Chargers are getting ready for when Tom Brady comes to them next year. So
yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah,
I see he's going to Tennessee, but whatever.
Know.
You know why? Because he can go live in Brentwood and not be a celebrity.
Of course, he'd be just blending in.
Yeah.
Right.
All the country singers live there. He'd just be Tom Brady, the quarterback of the team.
No question. Just Tom Brady. So we both pick Green Bay in that one on the road. Cleveland at 2-5. Wow.
This should be a dog.
Is this coach in the hot seat or what? At Denver, who's 2-6. So listen to this comparison. Myles Garrett and Von Miller, they were both out of Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett was first overall in the year he was selected. Von Miller was second overall.
Yep.
Their first 34 games each, Myles Garrett, 30.5 sacks. Von Miller, 32. 60 quarterback hits, Myles Garrett. 59 quarterback hits for Miller. 31 tackles for a loss, Myles Garrett. 51 tackles for a loss, Von Miller. 6 forced fumbles for Myles Garrett. 9 forced fumbles for Von Miller. Pretty interesting.
You want to watch it? If you do watch this game this week, you know it's going to be entertaining. Watching Garrett holding call penalty Bolish try to block Myles Garrett this week. Oh, that's going to be a tragedy.
This could be a.
They may cut him at halftime.
They could.
They're not going to be able to block up Garrett.
Who's going to play quarterback for Denver?
And Chubb's just going to run the ball down the field. And you got a quarterback who's never taken an NFL snap, who's good game manager from Arkansas, but it's going to be a lot of underneath stuff. It's going to be Cortland Sutton, Fant, and running the ball with the running back.
I agree, but is Cleveland at the point now where maybe things start unraveling? Maybe they're tuning out.
They still got 5 divisional games left.
Maybe they're tuning out the coach. Something's going on with this team.
That'd probably be a good idea.
This team, and we saw against this team's talented. They are loaded with talent.
You look at the roster.
They should not be 2-5.
Every time they call a name out, you're like, wow, Mac Wilson. Wow, Greedy Williams.
And you start thinking about,
Denzel Ward.
Like you go, what the heck?
Sheldon Richardson.
And that game last week came down to 3 plays.
Yeah.
3 plays.
Yeah.
Turnover.
2 Chubbs and the guy pick.
Right. That was right. Otherwise, Cleveland's in that game all the way.
Yep.
So, having said that, I'm picking Cleveland on the road.
I'm taking Cleveland, too, because a quarterback for his first game hasn't thrown an NFL pass scares me.
Agreed. And again, they don't have any game film on them too. You never know how that can bode well, or if it can bode well. We're going to skip the Sunday night game because we know that's about. We'll go to the Monday night game. The Giants at 2-6 must win to stay in the division.
Yeah.
Dallas is at 7. Dallas is 4-3. Since 2018, the Cowboys are 8-1 versus the NFC East. They are 6-8 versus other teams. So they're getting it done in the division. You can definitely say that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Giants have allowed 25-plus points in 7 games out of the 8 they played. This is interesting. Division matchup. It's in the Meadowlands. The Giants, the New Jersey Giants.
On Monday night, the Dallas has already gone there and lost the game.
I know. I'm picking Dallas on the road. This is
I'm picking Dallas in a squeaker. This is going to be. The Giants are going to be up for this. This is their game of the year. This is their Super Bowl at this point in time.
They have to win.
Yeah, and you can run the ball on Dallas. Even first game, Saquon Barkley busted like a 60-yard run against them, and they're going to have to try to cover Evan Ingram, and I don't think they have the personnel to do that. So I think the Giants keep it close and lose.
We both like Dallas. I agree, close game. These are good division games usually between these two clubs. All right, the Sunday night matchup and the last matchup of the week. We've got about 6 minutes. We're a little time to talk about this game. The 8-0 New England Patriots go to Baltimore to take on the 5-2 Ravens. Little quarterback comparison here through 14 games for each quarterback. Tom Brady has an 11-3 record. Lamar Jackson the same. Tom Brady, through his first 14 career starts, although it's a while ago, had just under 200 yards pass per game. 198 for Mr. Jackson. 18 TDs to 12 interceptions for Brady. 16 TDs to 8 interceptions for Jackson. 87% passer rating for Brady. Granted, Brady's come a long way since then, and it's been a while since we're talking about his first 14 games.
Yeah.
Here's what I like about this. Very few teams are not intimidated by this Patriot team.
And the Baltimore Ravens are one of them,
And
behind John Harbaugh.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
They are not. They can come right out and punch you in the mouth. They've done it before several times. They've done it in New England. That's one thing historically that I think the mindset of this team, through their coach, and that's going to be permeating through their locker room this week, up until game time, is that just go out there and beat them up if you can. At least try to.
Yep.
So Baltimore will not be intimidated.
No, they're coming off a bye week. They saw what Chubb did running the ball last week.
Mm-hmm.
They like to run the ball in between the tackles with Ingram, with Jackson feeding off of that, a lot of those zone read type plays. Basically, if you're an old school Patriots fan, you're going to take that 2001 AFC Championship game against Cordell Stewart game plan, and you're going to see that implemented where they're going to keep him in the pocket and make him be a pocket passer and defend the run and make them play, as they say, make them play left-handed. That's the game plan. Go back and watch the 2001 AFC Championship game on YouTube. That's exactly the game plan they're going to go with, how they're going to do it. Guys like Ted Johnson were huge in that game.
Can we agree, though, that Lamar Jackson's probably a better passer than Cordell Stewart? I don't
know that I'm going to go there yet.
Really?
Will he be? Yes. A lot of his passing yards were against a Miami Dolphins defense that the four of us here could go out and compete against.
Agreed. But I think...
I don't know. I'm not going to give him that. No, because if I go back to that 2001 Cordell Stewart, he had a lot of weapons, and he was hitting Hine Ward and Plaxico Burress for 80 catches a season and had guys in the slot and had good running backs.
I agreed. I'll take Lamar Jackson any day over Cordell Stewart right now.
At this point in time, in the future, yes.
Right.
At this point in time, that's the game plan.
And you made
this is the game plan.
Right. They're going to make Lamar Jackson beat him via the pass.
Yep. And stay in the pocket.
Right.
It'll be just contain. Make him read the defense. Make him make the throws.
And if he can
win with your man-to-man coverage.
If he can make throws and manage the game and not turn the ball over, this team could beat New England on Monday night.
Sunday night.
I'm sorry.
And guy to watch for them is tight end Mark Andrews. I want to see who they put on him, if that's a Patrick Chung matchup this week or if they have somebody else. But he's a good pass. He's one of your Oklahoma guys.
Yep.
Played with Baker Mayfield and just a really good pass receiver from the tight end position. No, that's the game plan this week.
Yeah.
That old game plan gets wiped out. Ernie Adams is watching old films of Cordell Stewart, and they're
A watershed moment for Mr. Lamar Jackson. There's been several this year. They've averaged 30.6 points per game and 434 yards offense this year. So something's got to give because the Pats are not giving up anything.
Yeah, and
So-
just they're coming off a bye too. So I mean, they're gonna have tricks up the
2
sleeve.
weeks in
They're
a
gonna
row.
Come out rolling.
Cleveland came off a bye last week. Baltimore coming off a
And
bye this week.
both the Patriots and Philly will be coming off the bye when they play in a couple of weeks.
Little note here: quarterbacks in their first or second season since 2014 are 0-21, including the playoffs against the Patriots. So they game plan very well.
Yep, it's a
Obviously.
game plan week, and
Not a newsflash. Well coached.
yep,
Well coached. These are two of the better coaches in the game.
yeah.
Belichick, obviously, far and above anyone else.
You notice guys who spent some time on special teams always end up being good coaches because they work with both the offensive and defensive players, so they get into that
much
full staff
right.
mode
Much
rather
like
than just coaching like Freddie Kitchens, who coached 4 running backs last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? That isn't communication with Denzel Ward. Does he really know what Denzel Ward does?
Much like a utility player in the game of baseball can make a darn good manager.
Yep.
Something about sitting back, notes, and kind of surveying everything. That kind of bodes well. Got 1 minute left. Buddy, I think the Baltimore Ravens win by 3.
I think the Patriots win by 10 because they're going to keep him in the pocket. I think Mark Ingram's going to have a pretty good game, and they'll be able to run the ball up the middle, but eventually it's going to get to the point where he's going to have to throw the ball, and it isn't going to happen.
Can't wait for this game.
It's going to be a great one. This
Can't
is
wait.
the game of the year that I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to.
me too. Me too.
Because it's Baltimore.
And there's a dislike between these two teams.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
adds to the rivalry.
Oh, it goes back.
Love it.
We're going back to 2009 on this. 2007, that Monday Night Classic,
There's
is
a hit-
what we're going back
no
to
question.
between these two teams.
Great history there for these two teams. That's going to do it for this week. Thanks to everybody joining us on Facebook, listening to us, watching us. We're always happy to have your feedback, so please let us know. We'll have guests in the future as well. We'll keep you posted. Keep E2G Sports page liked in your itinerary on Facebook. Thanks to Tyler O'Neill, Buddy Andre. Thanks to Mike Herron in the other room. I'm Johnny Sunchips. We're out. Have a great football weekend, everybody.